No one's sitting in feces.
Yeah, nobody.
Except maybe us.
Maybe.
When we
It's
film long
happened.
podcasts.
Yeah, and sometimes you just don't know. We go for 5 hours and it just starts to smell. That's why we have a can.
The Dad Collective Podcast.
Howdy ho. I'm Daniel.
I'm Paul.
And this is
The Dad Collective Podcast.
It is. And we are back. We are back. We are back.
We're just always back. You know what you can count on?
Us being back?
Us being back.
I was about to say the only downside to this podcast is that like me and you have to spend more time together.
Oh man, it's
Is
horrible.
that a bad thing?
It's horrible. I just tried distancing myself from all of you, and we're just like, we're back.
Do you ever rewatch the podcast and hear what you say or hear what you know what I say and be like, oh, I could have said something so much funnier there or a better response?
That actually happened in the last episode.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, why didn't I say that? It set me up.
There was something that it was a perfect tee up, and I think we both missed it.
Missed it.
Yeah, but it's also a dangerous slippery hole because we tangent.
A dangerous slippery hole.
A dangerous slippery slip and slide hole through the Amazon.
Yeah, I know. And so I saw one the other day where you said something about us being you asked about us being friends in the future. Yeah. And I'm like, when I was listening back, I said to myself, I don't even want to be friends with you now. Yeah. And I didn't say that joke and I missed it.
Well, you just put that out into the world.
Is that funny, guys?
I think that was intentional.
If you find that funny, this is our opening plea. Please, if you're listening to this in the car or wherever you listen to your podcast, pull over. Be safe. We don't want to suggest anything that's a little bit too controversial. Yeah, we'll get into that. Pull over and take a moment to give us a rate, to give us a comment. Because Paul said if we give 100 comments across the whole podcast world, what do they get?
We're giving away something off of this wall.
Off the wall or off the table.
No, we're not giving away that guy.
That guy can't go.
I like those guys.
It's funny because I was thinking about the giveaway.
Okay.
And I was thinking like, okay, we're giving it to, we're announcing to those who are listening to the podcast through a podcast streaming. And we're talking about giving away something on the wall. But if they only listen to us, they don't even know what's on the wall.
That's actually...
Right?
My mind just went...
I know, but so then I thought even further, I'm like, well, maybe that's motivation to then go check out the video on YouTube.
Well, because we do perform better on YouTube, right?
Do we?
Oh, yeah, 100% we perform better on YouTube. Is it because
we're cute, we're good-looking dads?
I think it's like, this is like legit. It's a legit...
I can hear the comments now. You're not that good looking.
Yeah, that's just your mom putting you in your place.
But we have a lot of good stuff up here, though.
We do.
And so are you going to be able to feel comfortable giving something away?
I'm attached to a lot of it, but I just keep secretly adding new stuff.
How close are we to giving away something? Like how many comments, do you keep track?
I don't think anyone's given us any ratings.
We're at 0?
Well, we just started it like a couple
That's true.
episodes
Well, the plea
ago.
is strong now. So if you're listening to this episode, that means you've heard it 2 or 3 times at this point.
Yeah.
Take a moment, please. We're a small team, a small crew of 2 people.
2 people and AI.
Yeah. And we would love it because...
Have you named the AI editor?
No, should I?
You should. Because fun fact, when I want to say I was in my 3rd or 4th year in real estate.
Yeah.
I had like a fake assistant to like make myself look.
What do you mean? Like a
if I messed up on something, I was like, oh, my assistant, man, they messed up on that.
Yeah.
And I learned that because I did a tour with a band that had a fake manager, had a fake booking agent. He catfished himself. He was just emailing himself like through multiple accounts and like completely screwed over a tour.
Well, that's the definition of fake it till you make it.
And he totally did. And we paid the price. So it was good times. It was good times.
Yeah. But I think, do you ever have to like worry about, speaking of the assistant stuff, like the humbleness of like on the flip side of like not implying that you have an assistant so you don't seem like you're too maybe big or important for that person? That's
to like
is it like a balance?
It's not to other realtors. It wasn't to like
for real estate people. Like
do
for your
hide
clients.
My assistant?
Not your I'm saying for your clients. Like
no.
Does it does you a disservice by talking about them or mentioning them?
No, I think that they want me focusing on real estate, not the piecemeal stuff. Even though Athena, you're awesome and you are crucial to my life.
Bring her on the show.
Bring her on the show.
And we go viral.
And she's here. Oh,
imagine.
Surprise.
So that's exciting.
How's your week, man? How was it? Was it good?
It's been my week. We ask this often. Weeks change. It's funny, like the energy of my week definitely changes week to week. Like it's definitely, there's like a horrible day, a great day, a upsetting day, the best day of my life.
It sounds like life.
It's life, but it happens in like this, like your own microcosm universe when you have kids, because it's like, so you're not just dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with like everybody's emotions. So
yeah.
And other people's emotions affect your emotions.
Who was super emotional this week?
Every day someone's emotional. It's usually just like when you're kids, it's mostly just like a product of being tired. So you pick them up from school and they're cranky. Like, you know, I picked up Joey today. I had to pick up Joey a little bit earlier today because she was doing her acting class online, her one-on-one acting class. Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Anytime.
So I picked her up a little early, and she likes staying late because she likes her aftercare program because it's fun and it's this. And so she's so like upset and cranky. And I'm like, well, listen, you got to make sacrifices. Like, do you want to do this? Like, do you like this class? Do you want to do it? She's like, yes. I'm like, so then sometimes you're going to have to not do something else because you want to do this. And she was already upset today because her friend stole her quarter.
What?
25 cents. So this is a story, and I don't know how much of it's true because kids lie.
Oh, here we go.
But
I wish we could do like animated cartoons to these stories.
When the budget gets bigger, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Her and her friend found a quarter.
They found it
On the ground. Okay.
Wow.
And so her friend gave it to her to hold on to.
Yeah.
And then she gave it to her cousin because he's older and she trusts him more to hold on to not lose it. And then her friend asked for the quarter back, and Joey didn't have it anymore. And so they got into a fight, and she was upset about that. And all the while, she's telling me the story about a quarter. I'm like, Joey, you got like a ton of money. You have more money than any kid I know at that age in your bank account because of the work you've done. Let your friend have the fucking quarter.
Yeah. Give to the less fortunate.
Give it to the little guys.
Do you remember when the bank accidentally deposited a shit ton of money into Jeremy's account?
No. Oh, no.
You don't? And he went to like Shoppers Drug Mart and bought like a ton of like colognes.
Do you think that was
like
true,
Cool
though?
Water and
I guess
Yope.
so.
It was true.
Yeah.
Because they called his mom and he had to like return everything.
Did he have to pay it back?
Yeah. And he like went to like the pizza place around the corner from us and they got like multiple large pizzas. He was like Robin Hood giving to the poor.
He was.
He was stealing from the rich.
I remember that now.
He was like.
The banks used to be great. Remember when you can wait in line for more than 5 minutes and get $5?
That was insane.
And that's how we just
ate lunch. And we would just all line up. So it took a long time.
Yeah. So at least one of us would get it and then we'd buy our lunch with it.
We should have little rascaled it and just all went on each other's shoulders and just like, just ask
like
some random questions.
Coat.
Be like, oh, what's the conversion rate for a yen?
I'd like to buy a stock.
Mutual funds. How
buy
mutual
low,
are they?
Sell high.
Yeah, that would have been great.
It would have been great, but they would have probably caught on quick.
So my week.
As I'll say, so what about your week? So my week, emotional roller coaster.
Same,
right?
Same.
So tell me about yours, because you called me a couple times saying like, or I called you and you're like, I'm just dealing with this. And it was obviously mostly dad related now that you're in that world.
Yeah. So Asher.
This was all this week, right?
Little Ashy baby. Dude, it's been a week and it's only, I don't even know what day it is.
I'm going to sit back and just laugh.
So we had to go, I guess, for his 2-month checkup. So he was dealing with a little bit of a diaper rash. Let me just touch on that.
Yeah.
We change Asher's diapers. I personally haven't changed a diaper yet because Jess just goes and does it.
She's there with him, right?
We posted a reel saying how I've never posted it. I've never changed a diaper and blah, blah, blah. The amount of comments we got that are like, oh, it's child abuse. Oh, you're letting your kids lay in a pile of filth. I feel that was directed towards
me though. And let's just clarify that, like,
he doesn't change his kids' diapers ever.
I don't give a fuck what you guys think. No, no. This is first of all a podcast, so we're trying to be entertaining. The reality is sometimes our stories are not embellished, but they're like,
I don't even have a kid.
I don't know. We have no kids, but in relation to me, so you've never changed one, and that's not a judgment thing. That's not child abuse because he's being changed. But what I said is sometimes I will wait till Jamie's around and then I'll pass him off. But if he poos in his diaper, I often and quickly change it. He will never sit with poo in his diaper. But if I know Jamie is in the kitchen and I'm sitting here and I have the opportunity to not change it, I will finagle within a 1 minute to 90-second period to see if I can pass him off and take care of my other kids. And and Jamie does that to me too.
Yeah.
Because that's the game of parenthood.
It's parent game.
How we play rock, paper, scissors on all of our decisions. It's like, oh, he pooed. Who wants to do it? Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, they left their water cup upstairs. Who's going to get it? Rock, paper, scissors. That's the goal of parenthood, is to try to do a little bit less and make them do a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we support each other. It's all for fun.
Yeah. So there's no child abuse. My child is extremely spoiled.
No one's sitting in feces.
Yeah, nobody.
Except maybe us.
Maybe.
When we film long podcasts.
Yeah. And sometimes you just don't know. We go for 5 hours and it just starts to smell. That's why we have a candle.
Our decisions are right.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, before you send the hate,
appreciate.
Check yourself.
We
are great parents. It's speaking of great parents, when I went to my kid's school today, just to like make my case stronger, as I was walking in to pick up Sunny, her teacher came up to me and she goes, Sunny is obsessed with you. She talks about you all day long. Every piece of art she draws is for you and with your name on it. She really loves me. And like, I don't know how to react when she says it. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's weird.
Like, whoa, space.
Yeah, be like, hey, creep.
Boundaries.
Jeez.
No, but so like my kids, and I'm sure it'll be the same for you when Asher is like responsive and appreciates the shit you do. But my kids love us, me and Jamie, like, and we love them, and they're like the best kids, and we do everything for them, and we bend over backwards. So
if I'm out all day and I come home and I'm like, Ashy baby, his eyes like light up and he starts smiling. And
so you're feeling it already.
We have conversations. I've said this before. We talk. We have a very special bond. There's no abuse here. So anyway, he's been
making him listen to you is a form of abuse.
Maybe because I just
listen. I got some problems, man. I need you to hear it.
Yeah, I was like, how do you feel about this song?
Tough day at school.
Stop being so emo. So he was dealing with a little bit of a bum rash. That got pretty bad, and we were doing Jess's like 2-month checkup after the C-section, all that stuff. So we went to our OB, and they don't typically deal with that kind of stuff.
You cream it up first. So like, did you try like at home?
Oh, we tried
solutions?
we were trying the diaper cream. We were trying everything. We talked to one of my friends, his wife's a doctor, but she didn't see it. So she said to use a cream that Jess was using, and it just wasn't working. Yeah. So we were at that appointment. We're like, hey, can you check this out? She's like, yeah, you need to get that looked at. Like, go to urgent care.
Really? What did it look like?
It was bad. It was like, we're not going to post a photo, but
just like
it was
describe
like lesions, and it was just not. It was it.
Yeah, it looked like
screaming.
Sores.
He was in so much pain, and it was heartbreaking to hear. Yeah. So we went to urgent care. Yeah. And this was I guess last Wednesday because I was trying to get this episode up.
For anyone who doesn't know, so what is urgent care? That's not the emergency room at a hospital.
It's the first time I've been there. So it's it was like a clinic that was specializing in kids.
Yeah, so it's a kid urgent care
There was like only 6 chairs there.
And how long do you wait?
So we went in there and they're like, oh, it's going to be a 30-minute wait. Just go hang out in your car.
And they'll text you?
Yeah, and they'll text us. So I was trying to get this episode up. It was another episode that was going live, doing the thumbnail, all that kind of stuff. So I was already crunched for time. No, he was fine. Whenever he's in his car seat, he just goes to sleep.
Oh, that's good.
Which is fantastic. 5 hours later. Yeah. The doctor ends up seeing us and he's like, oh yeah, that's really bad. So he gave us a cream and he gave us an antibiotic.
5 hours?
5 hours. So our doctor was away last week.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get him in. And so this sucked. And 5 hours out of my day, which I was supposed to, I had so much going on. Yeah. It was very, very
But willing to
stressful.
drop it all because he needed it.
And I did drop it off. So that's not abuse. That is being a good father.
But you're not complaining. You're like, fuck you, Asher.
So thankfully that's starting to clear up and that was good. And then yesterday, this is gonna really,
bring down the mood or bring up the mood?
Bring up the mood for all those anti-vaxxers out there. So he got his vaccinations.
Love that.
Love it. But seeing like when
personal choice,
his body, his choice. He consented. Yeah. So just hearing him cry out in pain like that, and he did
when
very
he got
good.
the needle, or like
when he got the needle, it was like such a sad cry. And like he whimpers, he gets like this little pout. Yeah. I'm gonna start like tearing up.
It just
like broke my freaking heart. But yeah, so
but it's so brief, it's so quick.
And he was a little fussy yesterday, but he's been good. But yeah, it's just like we're in like he's 2 months old, which is crazy because like
2 months.
It's flown by. Like we're about to be in February.
Where January we talked about on this podcast for like a long time about him coming, and now he's already 2 months.
It is wild how quick time is going, but it's great. And he's, like I said, he's smiling now. He's, engaging. He'll sit on my lap and we'll just start like, he'll babble to me and I'll babble back to him because I'm incoherent anyways. Yeah. So like, it's just, it's perfect. It's a no judgment zone. I'll be like, gosh, how's his outfit? He's like, stop wearing skinny jeans, you loser. But he's great. He's great. He's like perfectly healthy.
And how are you and Jess?
We're great. Like
she's tensions rising at all?
No, it's getting way better. We're getting into like a rhythm
groove,
of things.
Yeah, rhythm.
and she's like so happy, and just like watching her with him is amazing. When you, I think, go through life not wanting to have kids.
Yeah.
And like not thinking that you were going
That's
to.
in your future.
Yeah. And being in that situation, I was like, what was I thinking? Like being with someone
we told you that. We all said that too. We're like,
for sure. But it was like being with that one person that
yeah,
has your back no matter thick or thin. And, you know, creating this like little guy that's like smiling and like laughing and puking and farting and shitting all over the place.
You posted that video of him like spitting up.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to go viral. It's not. Please just like and share our stuff.
It was funny. Next time, if you get a little more projection, I think you'll go viral.
Yeah, like when I wish I was filming when he shat all over my leg and foot.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Would have been great.
It was horrible. I hated that. But it's crazy because like it's my whole perspective on everything has changed. Yeah. My whole perspective on everything, and like it's fucking wild.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So you and Jess are in a good rhythm now, and like she's, you know, she had a C-section, so obviously she was like down for the count for a little while in regards to being able to move around.
She was a champ, man. Like literally a couple days, like she was good.
That's good, but you can't like from a sexual standpoint, like you can't have sex right away.
6 weeks.
So yeah, you have to wait 6 weeks.
There's like over the pants stuff. And, you know, maybe feeling her up under the bra.
Under the bra?
Under the bra. We're getting crazy.
Holy shit, you guys are nuts. Crazy. But so now that's all back and things are good?
Yeah, things are good. Like,
but it changes though, no?
No, like we've always had a fairly healthy sex life.
Yeah.
So like I think the only thing that's changing is, I understand why people said like they're tired or want, because he's still.
You got to be up for it. And if you're tired, it doesn't matter.
But the bassinet's still in our room.
That's the other thing is privacy.
But it's not waking him up. Yeah. He's like, I'm loud. All right, heavy breathe.
Jess is quiet, but you're a high pitched squealer, like, and you giggle and you like cover your mouth.
I'm still just like because like Jess is really hot.
Get that picture out of my mind now.
No, it's fine,
and it's haunting me. So yeah, it's true. I mean, again, blow up the comments all you want. We also had to like anytime we had a baby, they're also in our room. Okay, and yeah, you don't necessarily stop that because A, they're sleeping. B, I don't think they're old enough to really take it in. And it's not the same, right? It's not like
they're not
now,
writing notes.
Yeah, they're not like, this looks good. Like now we have to be super cautious because we have like an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old who at any moment, at any point in the night could just walk into our room. And especially Joey is aware of what sex is. So it's not like you can maybe play it off depending on it, but like it definitely changes only because you have to be, when you have that cautious thought in the back of your mind that you know you may not have full privacy.
You have locks on your door.
You're like either A, trying to like just get it done and over with because you're like, oh, we got a window, right?
Yeah, and
that's that becomes the reality. Maybe it won't be the same with one kid, but with 3, it's like you don't, you can't. It's like betting, like your odds are against you.
Do you ever remember having like sex talks with your parents?
Never.
But
that's just because I don't think our parents talked to us about that.
And like, I feel like I just learned everything from TV.
Yeah, we learned from TV, but really, you know who we learned from? We learned from each other, like our friends. Like some friend did this and then some friend did that. And like, that's how we...
talking about it, like after...
Talking about it and watching videos and shit as friends. So really... We did that.
I don't recall.
Yes, you do. Maybe you blocked it out.
Be quiet.
I went 2 years of therapy to forget that.
Seriously.
But that's what it was. It's like you learn that kind of shit from like your friend groups and the TV that you watch.
How is it now? Because like we didn't have like Facebook groups growing up. Like Zuck wasn't on that shit yet. So like
he was just a pup.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He was just watching his parents bang. And
being traumatized.
Like what's it like now?
Yeah, so we're just learning about it. Like, it's tricky. Like, I don't know what it's like now. I mean, Joey's only 8. Obviously, she's like far away from that world in regards to participating in it. I hope to fucking God. Yeah. But it's more about like she's learning about it a little bit in school and she asks questions at home and we have books that like talk about it. But really, like, if she wants to learn more, she can easily search, and like that's the scary part. She can find out information that's beyond her years. Yeah. And so I can only imagine over the next 3 or 4 years of my life, it's going to be a very different story I'm going to tell on like how it affects us as a family.
Yeah, like that's because you also have 2 girls and a boy.
And so the girls are the oldest.
And it's very different conversations.
I think so.
And I feel like there's also a lot more that, you know, people are talking about these days with like pronouns and how to approach people and, you know, different ways of living your life, which for
There's
us,
so much. It's heavy.
back in the day,
it was simple.
It was simple, but we still had like, you know, there were shows on TV that kind of like breached that with like the original Degrassi, how there was someone who had like HIV, even a sexual preference, like gay people or lesbian, like all that stuff was and it also kind of ties into like the drug stuff. And like, I remember learning like about drugs from like this, one of our favorite after school. You haven't seen this clip.
I have. I've seen it at some point in my life, but you even showed it to me.
You know what I mean? So take a look at this.
World's Darkest TV Show. Oh yeah. It's like she's on meth.
What am I gonna wear?
She was.
Caffeine pills.
Right, I gotta wash my hair.
No, there's no time.
No time.
Fantastic.
There's never any time. I don't have time to study. I'll never get into
This scene is iconic, though. It's gone down in history as.
Jesse, hey.
So confused.
Hey, just calm down.
Just sing it, Jesse.
It's okay.
And all she needs is her drugs to get her back.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just need one of these.
Pills. You mean you really are taking drugs?
I need them.
You really are taking drugs. And here's the line, guys.
You can't sing tonight.
She's got to sing.
I'm so excited.
Here she goes.
I'm so
Yeah.
Jesse.
Listen, she realized she had a problem and she overcame it in a day.
But I feel like, you know,
But that made drugs look way scary. I mean, again, drugs are bad, but weed was illegal when we were kids, and now you can buy it through our government. So it's like they made, you know, that's a huge like hyperbole of drugs. Like she was taking. Remember, did you ever take wake ups in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You did. You say it as if I have to remember.
No, I've always been addicted to
you remember
caffeine.
we did caffeine, right? We used to drive to the States before I was here, and we got balls.
Oh, those were the best energy drinks.
The best, right? It's probably not around
anymore. It was
anymore.
like a vanilla tasting.
Yeah, it was delicious. But wake up pills, which you remember, is essentially what she was taking. So, like, in other words, it wasn't a great representation of like what drugs are and can do to you. It was like, be afraid of all drugs.
But I'm just saying that, like, Saved by the Bell was a
part of our lesson.
Saturday morning show.
Yeah.
And we had that kind of stuff, right? Like, I found this guy on TikTok, and we'll react to a ton of these videos.
I want to see more. Do you have more?
I don't have any more lined up.
We're not ready.
We're not ready for it, but there will be a lot of reaction stuff. But just watching stuff, like, we subtly did learn from sitcoms and from, like,
TV raised us. We've said it before. We'll say it again.
Do you remember the first time you saw boobies on TV?
First time I saw boobies on TV.
And we're not talking the fuzzies.
Yeah, I was
we're
say,
not
like, we're not talking
fuzzies.
about like porn, like actual, like just boobs on TV. I don't know. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What was it?
I was at my mom's friend's cottage, and they had satellite, one of those big satellite dishes.
Yeah.
And I somehow stumbled onto the Playboy channel.
Yeah.
And I was just literally sitting there watching for like, I want to say an hour before anyone noticed.
Yeah. I think really just sat
there.
And how did they
I
notice?
must have been like 8.
Did you just stop before they noticed, or someone came in and is like, hey,
I'm like, oh,
hey, kid.
This isn't Mr. Dress Up. This is Miss
This isn't where I parked my car.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is awkward. I just walked out backwards really slowly.
But they didn't catch you, or they did?
No, I got caught.
Yeah. Probably for me, again, I can't remember the exact time, but I think like besides like the whole like pornography world where we like snuck tapes and watch fuzzies and that kind of shit, was probably like those remember the Baby Blues shows?
Oh yeah,
that was
it's like after Electric Circus on Channel 7.
That was like probably my first real introduction.
You were older.
Yeah, but boobs weren't on TV though.
Boobs were always on TV if you knew how to find them.
No, they weren't like on regular cable or any of that. Like you had a crazy satellite dish, so you accessed like probably porn, but like. I didn't have that, but grade like 6 and 7 probably is when magazines were probably the first thing that I saw.
But you had a really weird crush on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, I loved her.
I knew not to call you during those times.
Me and Jeremy
just watched Sabrina.
We watched the whole Friday night lineup.
Yeah,
but Sabrina was the highlight. And the reason why, like, first of all, I just thought she was super hot. I love magic, and so like that whole part of it, like magical, witchy,
not like Magic the Cards.
No, I never liked Magic the Cards, but magic,
like David Copperfield,
big fan. But so I love that. And at the beginning of every episode, she always did a little trick in the opening credits, because opening credits back then weren't just like a quick beat; they were like a full opening.
It was a thing.
Yeah. Like I'm watching California Dreams, and the intro is like a minute and a half. It's like a long thing. So those opening credits used to be Sabrina like looking in the mirror, like changing her outfits. And then the last outfit was always a new one for the Friday. So it could have been like she was like dressed like a whatever, like a nurse or a fireman or whatever she was in her final outfit. And then she gave a snazzy final line like, oh, Governor blah, 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 right? And then it went to the show. So one time early on, her last outfit was like, I don't know what it was a character, but I don't remember what it was, but it was like a short dress. And it was a tight dress. And I'm like, ooh, Daniel's interested. Okay. And like from that point on, I thought she was so hot. I thought she was so hot that I put in my yearbook, like as my grade 6 quote. I guess we had grade 6 quotes.
Sure.
Likes and dislikes. My like was, and again, such a grade 6 boy thing to do. My like was Sabrina the Teenage Witch in a tight dress, and my dislike was Roseanne Barr in a tight dress.
They let you post that?
Yeah.
Oh, you would have been canceled.
Yeah, I would have been canceled.
The C word that we said we weren't going to say.
Yeah, they wouldn't have let you do that now, but it was Madame who
and you were dating her daughter.
And I was dating her daughter.
Yeah,
so
you got that in.
I got that inside.
Yeah.
She yelled at me once. You ever
Like
hear that story?
In class?
Yeah, were you there?
Maybe not.
It was
probably more traumatizing for you.
It was so traumatizing. You know, we used to go before recess and we're talking about like, you know, kids being exposed to stuff too early, and we're talking about our sex lives now and stuff. And this is kind of along those lines in the sense that I was dating her. I wasn't in grade 6. It was like grade 8.
Yeah, because I dated her in grade 7.
Did you?
Yeah. You knew this.
Fuck, man.
Sorry, man.
Done this podcast.
My whole life is a lie.
I think everyone dated her at one point. We all dated each other's girlfriends. I dated Jessica Salter, Myers, Louise. Like we all went through everybody.
Yeah.
Marcy.
Well, no, I never dated Marcy.
Belinda?
No.
Who did you date?
Who did I date? It doesn't go on with your story. How you got yelled at.
Did girls like you?
Yeah, the girls loved me.
The girls, did you date the Washington girls, the Florida girls in Washington?
The Florida girls.
That was great.
All I remember is the salsa fight.
I'll pull up those photos. So, so we'd go in there earlier and during the winter because she was in a portable, and she would let us into the portable early because it was cold outside, and so we'd hang out, and so I was dating whatever. And one time when me and her were on the phone, me and Lisa, like you'd only had one phone, right? So like your parents could pick up. There was no cell phones, and we were just talking about like, you know, probably some dirty shit as like grade 8s might, like not like sex talk by any means, but we were like being probably inappropriate from a parent's perspective in the way we were talking, right? Like, I'm gonna hold your hand, like
that my hand's gonna get real sweaty.
It's gonna feel real nice.
Yeah, it's so sweaty.
I don't know who we are, but I like it. Keep it going.
That's fine.
And so I came in, and she just like yelled at me for talking to her daughter that way in front of everyone. I was so embarrassed. Obviously, we got over it. I love her. I did not wear my pants.
Were you wearing your cowboy shirt?
I was not wearing my cowboy shirt. Actually, I could have been. It might have been picture day. And so. Yeah, it was just because, again, from a parent's perspective, she probably is like, so who is this fucking like grade 8 horned up boy talking to my sweet daughter like that? And was that the right approach? And is that how I would approach it if I came across it?
Like,
no, I would never embarrass another kid.
So let's fast forward. Like, when do you want to see Joey dating?
I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind her.
She's 8.
No, so I'm not saying I don't mind her. I was going to say I don't mind her dating now. I don't mind her dating at the regular time that kids start to explore that.
What is the regular time these days?
It depends on what you consider a date, right? Because kids are now like talking online and stuff. Atlas had a date the other day. He went to like.
Did they walk around a table and got married?
No, only in Full House, or in Grease. So she went to his friend's house the other day, and like it was him and this little girl, and they like sat at a table and they were eating together. So is that a date? No, but it was like a date. It's like a date. Yeah. So I don't mind Joey going on dates. I think it's going to be so important that we really ingrain in them, especially with like, again, we talk about social media a lot of like the perception of what people think of you and how, you have to present yourself a certain way. And I think that as long as she's like always respectful and always respectful of herself and her body at the right times and whatever, then hopefully like dates are innocent or happening at the right time. And just think about when we were kids. Like, are there certain girls, and we don't need to say names because we don't know who's watching this, and obviously we're not trying to, embarrass anyone. But like, when you think of the girls, and you don't have a girl, so maybe, but you can project knowing that you have a kid.
Yeah.
When you think of the girls that like were in elementary school or high school, are there girls? Because I think of this now. are there girls that you're like, I hope my daughter or kid grows up to be more like this person based on like sexual promiscuity, based on like how they worked in school or respect.
No,
I think about that often. I'm like, I hope my daughter is not like this person I know in grade 8.
But there's just like, that has never actually crossed my mind. Maybe it's because I don't think I want it to be like any of us.
Yeah.
But I think I was.
No, but again, I didn't think about
good.
that until I had a girls and I started thinking about girls.
But did you ever?
But now
step
I do
back
think about that
and like try to think of like what dad do I want to be that overprotective dad? Do I want to be more?
I think.
Because like you don't want them to get heartbroken, and you don't want them to
you gotta. It's you're playing inaudible all the time, right? Like, and that's a sports thing. I'm not a sports guy, but you have to constantly shift. I'm the dad who I am, and it's based on my personality and how I was raised and my friends. And I can't choose like I want to be the strict dad because I may not be the strict dad. But I think that when it comes to issues and problems and things that come up, you have to like. Try not to be at the end of the day, whatever kind of dad you are naturally, you got to not be reactive because that's when you may misstep and you do something that might be out of character of the dad you want to be. So everything needs a thought process. But
there's got to be some hardline things that you're just like, no.
Yeah, there will be. I don't have any hardline things now.
Like nothing?
I don't think so.
Because the
obvious ones, like hard, and I said this before, like hardline, like illegal drugs. That's a hard line for me. But how am I going to react to that? Am I going to kick? I'm never going to be the dad that kicks my kid out of their house until they straighten up. Like so there you go. Like I'll never be that.
Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio.
What a great movie!
What a great scene when he's at the door asking for money.
He's just amazing. But that's an extreme case. But
if you were in that situation,
have you ever been threatened to be kicked out of your house as a kid when you did things wrong?
No, because I didn't. But I didn't do anything.
Neither did I.
Yeah,
right?
like we weren't that. Good. We weren't that kind of kid.
But unfortunately, no matter what you do as a parent, sometimes your kid can become that kid, right? Like not even because of the things you did, just because of the relationships they create, the school they go to, the people around them. They try something once, right? We know it's a clear medical issue. Once you're addicted to something, it's like you can't blame the person who's addicted to it anymore.
It's a chemical thing.
It's chemical.
Yeah.
But it just takes those couple of times or one time. And so like, how would I react? How would I do it? Hopefully I teach her enough for her to eventually make smart decisions.
But it's also,
and when I say her, I mean all my kids, him too, Atlas as well. But
there's going to be a lot of shifting. And I guess that is the only perk of having multiple children is you'll learn as you go.
Compare them.
Yeah.
Be like your sister.
No, but it's not that. It's learning as you go. Right.
Totally.
And that's, adjusting for what you did with Joey might not necessarily work for Sonny.
Or what worked for Joey.
Atlas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's just their personality. So what I do
you
for
don't
one
have like a hard line, like I don't want them starting to date until they're like 15 or 16.
I think it's an unrealistic thing. And I think sometimes if you put up too many roadblocks, they rebel more, right? And my only example of that is like my parents never had like candy in the house and I loved candy and ate more of it because whenever I can get it, I went for it. Where Jamie, and again, I think I said this before, had like tons of chocolate bars growing up in her house. You ate it, but Jamie never, like her family, like her sister and her brother never really consumed it because it was just there. Like,
but that's how I am here. Like I have so much candy. I'd get candy orders to the house and I barely touch it.
But you know what worries me more?
What?
If we're talking about kids and future and hard lines and decisions, and I would like to hear more of your hard lines if you have any.
Yeah. Mine are the public.
The public, yeah. But I'm more worried about Atlas than the girls.
Why?
Just because I am more concerned that, because I think that it's obvious. It's not easy, but I think that the decisions or the rules that you put in place for a daughter sometimes might be more obviously said or verbalized. So in other words, like I want to teach Atlas respect so that he respects women, right? And doesn't put himself in a situation. And again, it could be innocent, but if he's like in a high school thing and the girls think, girl's a little bit drunk and he's a little bit drunk, like now we have to think about that even more than we did as kids. Not that that's was never not important, but it's more important now than ever. It's more, it's more, the awareness of it is more out there. The tolerance of that stuff is clearly, lower. So I think like teaching your son about, situations he can put himself in as a boy, as a male, if that's what he continues to be, then that's what worries me because like it's those small mistakes can ruin multiple lives where like, I guess it's on both sides, but just to me as a man, that's what I fear for my son is making sure that he understands respect and boundaries and all that stuff. And that's harder to teach, I think.
But you have to lead by example, like how you are with Jamie,
for sure,
and how you talk to Jamie and how you respect her, and act with her. And like Jess has sent me like countless Instagram things and memes, and it goes a long way because they're always watching, and his biggest role model is going to be you,
for sure.
And it goes
and his mom, but it's not even like the obvious thing. So for sure, like if I treat Jamie with respect, he's respectful. But it's just there's so many other things that can happen. Even knowing that he has great parents at home, that he you can make it. You drink and you drive, right?
Sure.
Stupid decision.
Horrible decision.
Doesn't mean that your parents were bad parents. You made a bad decision. But there's so many bad decisions that males can make, boys can make throughout their lives because they're made differently and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so trying to teach them to like be very aware of their scenario, their surroundings, their situations is something that I think about often,
for sure.
But I'll probably think about it more as he's going through life. Yeah,
and I feel that also letting them know that you're a safe space that they can come talk to,
for sure,
and that you're not going
to get in trouble
or with like a judgment thing. I was watching something and this woman has like a code word with her daughter where she says it, she'll come and pick her up, doesn't ask questions.
No questions asked, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's really important.
That's a great idea.
Because it's a very good idea. And I feel like us growing up, like we maybe didn't talk to our parents as much as kids are now.
No, because I was afraid of my parents in the sense that I would not tell them things.
Did you have a parent you would go to, mom or dad, over stuff?
If it was serious, it was usually my mom because my mom took things more seriously. My dad was like fun and, great and a friend and chill. But yeah, I would be afraid that I would get in trouble. Listen, speaking of exposure, and this is a perfect segue. When I was in grade 6 and you were around then too, you weren't with me the day it happened.
I was.
And I got that
the package.
The package. I was did I say this before? I don't think I did.
We never talked about it.
So I'm playing hockey. I'll give the story because this relates to it. I'm playing hockey. When we were kids, we played sports on our street.
Big sport guys.
We were outside more because we didn't have fun. We had nothing. So that's a shame of. It's true. The world was better then. Sorry, the world sucks now. And so I'm playing street hockey on my driveway with a bunch of kids on my street. And all of a sudden a car speeds past. And my street is not a pass-through street. Like if you're on my street, you're there for a reason. Speeds past my house.
And that reason was to drop off a porn package.
And screams out the window.
What do they scream?
They go, "For Daniel," like a woman's voice, right? Yeah. I'm in grade 6. A lady. And he throws it out the window and his package is brown fucking like paper, like that's what it just looked like, this like dirty ass fucking like destroyed package.
Horrible.
Lands on my driveway and I'm like, oh, I open it up with my friends. And inside was remember the porno movie boxes were like these big boxes?
Yeah.
So it was a big porno movie box stuffed with like
I love how you called it a porno.
As opposed to what? Porn?
Yeah.
Pornographic?
Porno.
Pornographic. I'm trying to be...
Pornographic film.
An adult film. Inside was stuffed with like panties with like the crotch cut out.
Oh, goodness.
Cards with like handwriting, like adult handwriting. Not, again, I'm in grade 6. I know what grade 6 writing.
Cursive? Was it cursive?
It was like good cursive writing. A lipstick kiss on it that were, again, adult lips. Like crazy shit. Condoms. All this stuff. And you think like, oh, this is amazing. I would have been... 11
or 12,
yeah, because I just turned 11 if it's grade 6, and 12 in
true,
grade 7 and 13
birthday.
in grade 8, or early in the September at the beginning of the school year.
Yes, sir.
So you think that a grade 6 boy would be like, oh, this is awesome, amazing, but I got super scared. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't get this. I've never seen stuff to this degree before. And I ran, and I thought I was getting in trouble. So that's the point. Okay. I thought I was going to get in trouble for my parents for receiving this.
So what did you do?
So I took it, stuffed it all back in with my friends. We walked to a sewer and we shoved it in a sewer to get rid of it. And then that night, because parents know everything and it's true, like I can see when Joey has something to say or something's off or she's feeling away, I can see it in her eyelash, in her eyebrow.
Sense.
It's a sense that you develop. Eyelash. I can see her eyelashes pointing the different way and I know that something's off. Like that's how in tuned I am to knowing when my kids are feeling.
It's impressive.
Even when they make a little fib or a lie, I know instantly. I can tell. I know my kids. And you learn that as they get older because you're spending so much time with them. And so I'm at dinner that night and my mom's looking at me and she's like, what's wrong? Like, what's off? And I also was like afraid of my parents, so I don't lie. So I told them, instantly broke down. She goes, and my mom is like super protective. So she like instantly gets scared. She calls the police. We meet Temmie and his brother Ryan and his dad at the sewers because they're the only
sewers.
one
This
who has a
sounds
crowbar.
Out of like a movie.
Yeah, it was like a movie.
Like
They open a crowbar. They crowbarred the sewer open.
Where do you even get a crowbar?
The Lewises had it, so that's why they called them. They fished it out. The police came to my house. They were concerned. They were concerned about it, so it wasn't whatever. And so my mom like sent a letter to the school that went home to everybody in the school. And until someone came forward and whatever for 2 days,
I don't remember getting a letter.
There was a letter, and for 2 days, my mom was like walked me to school. Like this at this point, I was walking with her friends. She walked me to school. She picked me up personally, not my nanny, nothing. Picked me up and brought me home and was like had her eye on me for 2 full days until.
Well, she was watching everyone else.
She was watching she's like everyone. You. And so finally, you know, it was an April Fool's Day prank. At the end of the day,
was it April Fool's Day?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
it was a stupid prank for that age group.
Yeah.
And if that happened to my family, I would be fucking going wake. Like if Joey's in grade 2.
Wow, Joey's not in grade 2.
Maybe 3.
I think she's like grade 6.
No, she's like in grade 2 or 3.
She's 8.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know how old she is, but I forget the grades because there's so many grades.
When's her birthday?
September 8th, 2015.
Well, that's an easy one because it's the day after your anniversary.
Ask any of my kids.
And it's like 2 days before your birthday.
Anyways, it's hard to remember things. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But if that happened to Joey, I would fucking go insane on the parent that was involved in it.
That being said.
So I think my mom actually took it pretty well.
It was very different times back then too.
Sure.
Like I don't remember hearing about kidnappings.
No.
Did you have a secret word? A secret family word?
Now or when I was a kid?
When you were a kid?
No.
Oh, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, for like strangers?
Yeah.
I might have. I don't remember if I did.
I'm taking that word to my grave. Nobody's knowing.
Tell me the word.
Absolutely not.
I'm part of the family.
Are you?
It's over now.
How do I know you're not wearing a Carson suit?
He knows too much. Get rid of the van. Get rid of the van.
Yeah, absolutely not. But I think that's important. Like
100%. But your first point of the word of like to get you out of a situation as opposed to like stranger danger, like what's my secret password? That's less likely, or I feel like it's less likely than like, hey mom, grilled cheese for dinner tomorrow sounds great. And then she knows to come get you because you're in a situation that you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
And I definitely want my kids to do that. So that is a good idea to have.
So like you've mentioned before that maybe, a couple of your kids are not, I don't want to say OCD, but they overthink things, right?
Yeah. It's coming down. So I will say that.
So like, the boy, it's not like a boy who cried wolf. Like, is there a point where you need to let them make those mistakes?
Uncertain mistakes, for sure.
You know what I mean? So they're not just
if there's a lesson built into the mistake and
like
they're
a
not
Danny
in danger,
Tanner lesson.
Yeah, like I love like.
So if
the quarter thing I talk about, like that's my kid's problem to solve. The quarter tomorrow when she goes to school and just to talk to her friend,
you're
talk to my cousin.
So much for Schreiber. I don't care about the quarter. I want to hear about.
No. I care, but that's an opportunity for her to take on a problem-solving opportunity on her own that is manageable. That doesn't need parent intervention. So in other words, I'm not going to be the helicopter parent who's getting involved in all their issues. Not that I don't care, but they need to learn conflict resolution.
Can you add a clip here?
Any clip?
Michelle Tanner driving a car through the.
Well, I can't because that never happened.
With Stephanie.
You got it.
It was Stephanie Tanner who drove through.
Come on.
ERNDR. Must mean radio. Whoa, Rodney, whoa! I'm in the house, and I'm still in the car.
Come on now.
How would you react to a situation like that?
Like I think that's so far-fetched and impossible that it's like, how do I even begin to imagine?
We had a friend who got a car before he got his license, and he wasn't allowed to drive it until he got his license.
Yeah.
But he constantly drove that black Sunfire.
Did he?
Constantly.
Constantly?
Constantly.
I don't remember.
And there was also another friend who had a blue Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Who would constantly...
I would go crazy. Listen, Jamie's sister used to take the car out at 14.
But so now being a parent...
I'd fucking kill her.
How would you react?
I'd be so angry.
Did you ever get caught?
Did I?
Yeah.
I never did that. Did I?
I know your mom's watching.
No, did I take my car out before I had my license?
Yeah, the Civic.
Did I?
Yes.
Maybe once.
It was a couple of times.
Like
I think we drove to
promenade,
like
right?
Center Point. I can think of one point where we drove to Center Point.
Yeah. So if Joey did something like that,
Yeah.
it would be a very serious talk. Not that I'm angry and not that I'm let down. I'm not going to say that part, but it's more of a fear. It's like, you need to understand how serious this is from a safety standpoint.
You could kill people.
And yeah, and kill yourself, which, you know, the repercussion, she would have to get the fear of God for me. And I don't know what a grounding would look like. Again, it depends on her age. Like if she's, you know, obviously 16 or 15, she's about to get her license, then yeah, she would be grounded or not able to do something that she wants to do for sure. But it's
so
more
that would be your style. Like you would.
What would you do?
I don't know. Like I haven't.
Like you have to have a talk, but they also need to know that this is a very serious thing. And so like there needs to be a serious repercussion because there needs to be variances in your response depending on the serious nature of it. So if like Joey came home late by 20 minutes, it's not going to be the same response as if
Are you going to be a curfew guy? You're going to be a curfew guy?
I think I'm going to have, I think depends on her maturity level, right? She might not need one. Sonny might.
Yeah, I never had a curfew.
Yeah, and I always did.
Yeah, did you?
I always did. Not later in life, but like I always had. And usually a lot of times it was more of a check-in. Like it was usually by the time I was going out alone where it was late, my curfews were like 11 or 12. But it was like going to your house or whatever, then there was no. But it was more about going out maybe. But yeah, I had curfews and eventually it dissipated. But I think boundaries are important at the end of the day. So whether it's a curfew or it's rules and regulations in your house or things that you do or don't do, it's all important. So yeah, there's going to be things that follow because we do that now. There's things they have to do. They have to clean up after dinner. They have to do this.
It just comes down to respect. I feel like if your kids respect you and they want to make you happy and make you proud, they're going to be good kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And so in other words, I don't think my kids fearing me will be my parenting style.
I think you're a hard guy to fear.
Yeah. I'm very too soft.
It's this, you can't be yelling at a kid wearing a smiley face hat.
It's so friendly.
You just can't.
Wait till I wear my smiley face shirt.
It's a lot of smiley faces.
It's nuts. I'm a very sweet guy.
Yes. Like it's sweetest guy.
It's crazy how wonderful and empathetic I am. And
Jamie
humble.
I'd be scared of Jamie.
And Jamie never had. Yeah, I'm so scared of Jamie.
She's terrifying.
I never had. Jamie's family never had curfews at any age. But Jamie was a really good kid. Like her sister wasn't. She was a troublemaker.
Sure.
But Jamie never had curfews. Never had those boundaries, and just came home at the time that made sense and was always safe and whatever. And I don't think I'd be that. So those are two extremes.
But I think
they need to respect, and I think that's more important than the fear of like not coming home in time.
So this is going to be the world's best tie-in.
Oh.
But I think sometimes it's good when kids do come home late.
Yeah.
So mom and dad can have some alone time.
Shit.
Just bringing it all back. You
think that's what our parents did when we didn't come home?
I fucking hope not.
Picture it right now.
I really hope not. But that being said, like, so how has
it been
with you, like you and Jamie? Because like, honestly, you guys have been together for a long time.
So regardless of the marriage, the kids, all that stuff, anytime you're with someone for a while, it's becomes what it is. I will say that it's like still fantastic.
Okay.
Right? Like it's still great. It's the frequency is less because we're tired.
But that also makes
we have kids. It makes
more
sense.
Special.
And
it makes it more special.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it every night. Like I could come close. Maybe not every night. I do say sometimes like she did come.
Maybe 4 times a week.
Once every month.
Once every leap year.
She did come up to me the other night to like initiate.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like,
who's the initiator?
We both are, but in this case, she was.
And you butt heads. You're like, oh, silly goose.
No, like she can't, like, because in this case, I'm gonna tell a story.
I'm gonna tell a story.
So Atlas, I mentioned before, is like currently sleeping in our bed because he's going through a weird sleep thing.
Yeah.
And
was it still a sleep regression at that age?
It's not a regression. It's just that like he's kind of afraid. He's kind of aware. He doesn't want to be alone. He's our little boy. We treat him more like a little boy. He's like
afraid of the dark?
He's just afraid to be alone, whatever. He's aware of a shadow man.
Does he like come to you? Okay.
And all that good stuff. And so it's just easier for us to get sleep, for him to be in a room because we get to go to sleep and get our rest. And I told you that when he cries, he throws up, and that's not gone away. And so if he's in his room and we're trying to let him cry it out,
the amount of people that I have told that to,
even at his current age,
like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Even at his current age,
how old is he?
He's 3. I would let him cry it out until he got used to it. But I can't do that because it just causes more work for me. So he's in our bed. So, you know, how do me and Jamie have sex when he's in our bed? We can't.
No.
Because he's not.
I fucking hope not.
Yeah, because he's not a baby in a bassinet.
Yes.
He's fully aware of us, and he would wake up and
like,
ask questions.
Why y'all wrestling?
What's going on there? And so Jamie, so the way we have to initiate it now is I will walk around because we have a big king bed and he's in the middle and I'm at this edge and she's at this edge, and I'll walk around and, like, you know, tap her on the shoulder, and that means we're gonna go to his room and his bed to kind of to get to, he's not using it. He's not why should a bed go to waste? And so when Phil was here last week, he's like, oh, this is the bed that my kid might get laid in one day. Little does Atlas know that his parents got laid in his bed. And so that's how we have to do it. So
did you create any of your second or third children in, was this
Atlas was not created in our house. No, but Atlas was conceived at my cousin's cottage.
Okay, 100%.
Yeah, because we were trying, and we knew we were tracking, and we were like kind of only doing it on the days that we had to because we wanted to save up all the men, all the little, you got to send in as many army guys as you can, and so it happened to be while I was away at my cousin's cottage.
Okay, but you haven't mentioned Sunny. That. Was Sunny made in Joey's bed?
She could have been. I don't remember. No, we never done that before. Like, but with our other kids, this is just a new circumstance.
So what were you doing with your first other two? Because
they were in their rooms.
You had to had sex
like at 3. Like Atlas is 3, about to be 3.
So he's the only one who started sleeping in your bed.
He's the only one who was.
I thought all your kids co-slept
at the beginning. So most of my other 2 kids slept in our bed from 0 to like 8 months ish. A little bit less, a little more between Sonny and Joey, but 8 months. And then they were in the room and they never come back, except for like sleepovers. Come back. Yeah, like we do sleepovers.
I remember I used to, like, if I had a scary dream, I would like stand outside my parents' room, just be like, "Let me in."
Yeah, my kids do that.
And I was like, "Go fuck yourself."
And they're like, scary. So Joey would come in like a fucking elephant if she's scared or she wakes up or she has a problem, if she's sick,
just
whatever.
Like hulks down the door.
She like hulks. I can hear the whole house shake. She runs and the whole house shakes.
And what's your reaction? Like, oh fuck!
It just pulls me out of my sleep. But Sunny, and this is why Sunny is scarier.
You've said this before.
Sunny just is quietly there.
She shows up
and just stands on my bed and stares at us until we wake up from feeling the stare.
And she starts speaking in tongues. And then her head spins around and she just projectile vomits all over the place.
I mean, she's
Sunny
close
needs
to that
an
moment.
Exorcism. She does.
But I'll tell you this, and maybe there's hate in the comment for this comment.
Really fucking go.
But like Sunny is just so. I have such an affinity with Sunny right now. I'm not gonna say she's my favorite because
she's your favorite.
I love them all.
Sunny, she's your favorite. Joey,
but I'm just so romantically obsessed with Sunny, and I know that sounds bad. I'm just so. What? You'll understand when they're older. Like, I just want to like eat her face always. I just like she's just so squishy and wonderful and cute and sweet, and I just love being around her. I love her quirks, and in other words, I just love spending time with her a lot right now more than my other kids.
So when they say you don't have a favorite,
no, because you don't have a favorite. You equally love your kids.
Like, Joey, go play with your quarters. Atlas, go puke. Sonny, you're the best.
I don't ever send them away, but I just appreciate my time with her right now based on her age and her personality. It's just a great time. She's just at a great age, and she's great. She's great.
I truly feel it's impossible not to have a favorite child. I think it is impossible not to have a favorite child. I'm sorry.
Listen,
leave it in the comments. I want other people's opinion on this. Because
let me give you mine, because I have this situation.
Yeah, it's Sunny. Yeah, you said it.
There's no favorite child.
This is forever.
There's no favorite child because the word favorite is such a generalized word. There are 100% times where some of your kid or one of your kid.
If you had to give one away, who's it going to be?
I'm not doing the Sophie's Choice.
Who's it going to be? Gun to your head. One of your kids has to go. Who's it going to be?
I will dress up Asher as one of my kids and just give him away.
No.
Sorry.
He's too smart for that.
Hey. It goes through changes. So in other words, sometimes a certain kid is grinding your gears and you can say like, yeah, currently this kid is not my favorite kid to be around. But from a love perspective,
this just sounds like parent mumble jumble. You have a favorite. You have a favorite.
I have a favorite kid. You have one kid. Yeah,
I have a favorite kid. Its name's Asher.
Yeah, well, Jess has one favorite kid, and it's Asher.
Asher too.
Even though
you think I know about?
You're a kid. You're a kid. She has 2 kids. You and her.
She likes
you and
Chandler better than me.
So what's the
I'm
order
gone.
of Jess's favorite?
I'm way down.
So it's Asher,
Chandler, Diego, Brooklyn, me. No, I think she likes Brooklyn less than me. But
so you're moving your way up the list.
No, I'm moving further and further away.
Well, it's true.
Asher's
like once you have a kid,
best friend.
I love obviously, and now that you have this, right? It's like I love Jamie, but isn't the love for your kid like just at a different level? And of course, it's not romantic, even though I just said romantic. Isn't the connection a different level of connection?
Than
like the love you have for your wife.
It's just different.
But it's so different.
Yes.
And it's so
yes.
It's so crazy, like how different. Like it's a love that you've never felt before. No.
Yes.
And isn't that crazy?
Well, says the guy who says he wasn't connected to his children.
Yeah. Again, something that I got canceled for. Anyways.
I love, so before the episodes, we gotta stop saying the word cancel because people are gonna dig deep into our history.
Because you opened up the gates.
And you're
so you put it in my
kicking
dialect.
that freaking football through those posts.
Listen, I'm either gonna succeed or fail.
So Super Bowl.
And fail.
Taylor
Super Bowl's
Swift.
coming up.
It's Taylor Swifty.
Yeah.
We used to watch Super Bowl at your house in your ginormous TV that you have.
Rear project. It's still there.
Yeah, you were paying monthly for that, like 45% interest.
For like
we thought it was great. We're like,
for like 2 years
I know,
or
it's
3 years,
insane.
I paid that fucking
that
thing
guy
off.
freaking swindled you so hard. But yeah, so anyways, back to keeping the spark alive in a relationship. Do you guys do the date nights?
So it's tricky because we have the situation. So we have to go to Alice's room, but there's times we're tired and there's times that I don't want to and there's times she doesn't want to. And so like when we do get down and dirty, it is fantastic. It's great and I love it. And it's, you know, I'm still super attracted to her, if that means anything.
Are you super conscious? Because I know Jess and I, now that, you know, he's getting a couple months old, we can have like one of our parents come and watch him, like implement, because we used to go out a lot, like do dinners, and we weren't like club people.
Have you had anyone babysit him yet?
Not yet, no. And we were supposed to on last Saturday, but the whole bum issue happened. So
and it's easy because he's feeding from a bottle.
This upcoming weekend, we're going on our first date night.
Where are you going?
We're going over for dinner. We haven't planned it yet. We'll figure that out. But we're going on our first one, but we feel like having at least one night a week. Just the two of us.
A week is a lot to ask for, I think.
But it's not like a full night, like a couple hours or whatever.
It's just the babysitting part of it. Like, so we've recently just got, I told this, but we recently just got, you know, someone who's not a family member to be a babysitter.
You didn't tell us that.
My next door neighbor. I think I said, okay, so my next door neighbors are at a grade age.
How
they
old
can
are
babysit. One's in like grade 10, one's in grade 8. So they can do it together.
I don't feel like a grade 8 should be babysitting.
With her great, first of all, they're both very mature.
She should be. It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. Second of all, this is the best part. This is why it's such a blessing for us. It's the two of them, right? So they're great. They come together. They're our next door. I know them. Like I've known them my whole life. Their family grew up on Heather, like my street growing up. So I know this family. It's you know,
you better not say that name and get another sex package.
Yeah, exactly. So I know the family.
Yes, maybe say it.
But they're next door neighbors. Okay. So like, God forbid they have a problem. They call their parents. Their parents are home.
Who's like babysitting the babysitters?
Nobody's babysitting. They're old enough.
So they're getting some alone time. You're getting some alone time. It's a win-win for both you guys.
Yeah. So we've recently started taking advantage of it. So we have been trying to go out at least once a month. Like once a month for us is a success to be able to actually go out and employ a babysitter.
Do you go to Duff's?
We don't. We will not go to Duff's for a date night.
He's upset with you, Duff's, because you didn't repost our story.
I shared it hoping to give him some love, and I didn't get the love back.
No love back. You didn't even get any wings in the mail.
But we try to go to somewhere that is not typical for us. We always go south. We always,
Well, you going south could be Steele's.
It could be, but there's nothing at Steele's. So we got to go south enough to find a place that's good. And we enjoy it and we love it. And I'm taking her out next Saturday because it's her birthday.
Where are you guys going?
I haven't planned it yet.
Oh, I'll give you some advice. Is it going to be an overnight thing?
No.
What, have you guys gone on a solo trip yet?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
We've gone to New York. We went to New York for 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah.
Who watched the kids?
We split them between my parents and her parents.
It's
too much for one parent.
Do they have separation
at their
anxiety?
age?
Oh, wait, it's too much. Too much for having 3 kids.
Yeah, for my parents and
Jamie's
easier, parents.
So it's easier to travel when you have one kid?
Listen to me, you fuck. You piece of shit.
Oh, man, I love proving people wrong.
Except that you think you prove anyone wrong, but you're not because you just didn't hear the rest of the sentence.
Okay, finish your
sentence.
So I
can jump in. It's for our parents' age, they're not built to have young kids. That's why you have kids when you're younger, and you'll fucking see this since you had kids at an age. When you're 50, you may not have the same energy you had at 40. So it's a lot for my parents to deal with toddlers and babies 3 kids at a time. Not for parents in general. I can do it with my eyes fucking closed now. I'm built for it.
But it's easier to find someone to watch 1 kid than 3.
100%.
That's right.
100%.
Say, Paul, you were right.
You're definitely right about that.
That's right. So you guys went to New York. How was that? Did you miss the kids? What's the
Not
feeling
at all.
there? No.
Yeah, no, we didn't miss them at all because we loved it being alone. But it's funny enough, like we end up talking about them like so much, right? Like that's our topic of a conversation.
How much you hate Atlas and Sunny? Sorry,
and
Joey.
No,
I wish Sunny was here.
How much we miss them all. But we've gone to New York. We did a 2-day thing for my birthday where we got a hotel in Toronto and we were gone for 2 days. And literally all we did was just like stay in our room. We went to the spa. We ordered room service.
You came to Toronto.
We just went downtown and got a hotel for 2 nights.
Went to the 416 hotel.
We went to, it wasn't the greatest experience in regards to the hotel amenities, but it was nice. It was, what's the one?
Stop petting Nick Cage.
I like it. What's the one? It's still in mind. The one on the water, the newer one. I should know this.
Hotel X?
Hotel X.
Okay.
We stayed at Hotel X for a couple of nights.
Yeah, it's garbage.
It's not that great. But anyways.
We did that during COVID. We did like a staycation there.
Yeah. It was good, but we did it because it was an option. But there's a coupon.
So there's like a big trending fear though that parents don't like to travel together because if you go down, you're like, fuck that, I don't care. My kids will be orphans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to fucking New York myself and go to Olive Garden. I'm like,
you love Olive Garden.
I fucking do. One of the last times I was in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can go to Carbone, we can go wherever.
Yeah.
I went to fucking Olive Garden in Times Square and I fucking hate Times Square.
Yeah.
But I was staying there.
We stay in Times Square usually.
Oh, I never do.
The only reason why we do is because we see like one of the things that we do is we see a show every night. So for us, we don't stay there during the day. We'll go into like all the different places, Brooklyn or this, that, or whatever. So for us, for traveling around New York, staying there is easy because at the end of the show you can walk home and it's just that part of it is. So it's easier for us to leave than to come back. So
I stayed there once because like I was going to SNL and they were all staying at that freaking hotel. So you didn't want to feel left out. You want to be a part of the crew. Well, yeah.
You want to be part of the team.
That was a fun
You don't want to stay in the meat district.
No.
So you brought up the whole parent thing. So we didn't finish that thought. Yeah, there are parents who are traveling separately on airplanes because if one goes down, they're afraid.
But even together, like they won't take trips together.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't want to
That's a little extreme.
But I get it.
I get it, but it's extreme. Like you got to take some risks. Like what are you going to do? Like you can't live your life it's one in a gajillions usually, right? Do you have, speaking of like, God forbid, knock on Nicolas Cage, if you guys have already thought about like next of kin and all that stuff for you, like who would take care of Asher? Like, and maybe it's a sensitive topic. I'm happy to talk about it. But
since you're here,
yeah, me?
No.
But have you done? I would honestly do it.
I know
you have to do that. There's a lot of like legal stuff that you have to put in place early on.
I know. I need to get life insurance.
Like I have life insurance, critical care,
I have something,
all that shit. But more importantly, where does Asher go? God forbid.
Yeah, we should.
And it's a dark thing to think about, but it's something that's so important that you have to think about it.
No, for sure. Like it's
because you don't want to not make that decision and have him be in a place that you wouldn't want him to be in.
Yeah, like Daniel Carson's.
Sonny
is always going to be the favorite. He won't get the attention that he needs.
I would treat your son like my own, just so you understand.
Yeah,
that.
and he won't get the attention because Sonny's there.
Like I'd love him.
He's going to good son it.
I'd love him.
He is going to good son it and trying to push her off a waterfall.
And stop being so dark. I love him. I take care of him. Soft. I'm empathetic.
Did say you're like, I just want to eat his face.
He's so cute. I love it all. But so my sister is mine, right? Like an obvious answer for me. She's okay with it, and I'm for her.
Are you?
If God forbid her and whatever, I'm the only person. There's no one else.
I saw the document. It's going to Schreiber. It's going to Schreiber.
I would leave my kids with Schreiber.
Would you?
If I didn't have anything else, he would be a good option.
Every time I call, if we try, we're both busy. I guess we're all busy people. I'll miss calls or whatever. And I'll call him and he's like in the middle of like cooking lunch for them because he's missed mom sometimes.
All the time.
And like, it's so funny, like hearing the background. It's like, Harley, stop!
He also loves cooking.
He's like, oh, fuck it, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 days later.
It's frustrating for
it's
sure.
It's hilarious.
It's a full-time
I like FaceTimed him this morning because it's his birthday. And I found those photos from that was like my grade 8 birthday party, I think.
Should we post it?
Sure.
So here's a photo of me, Paul, Schreiber, Jeremy, who you met on a previous podcast.
It was during
grade 8.
I think.
Was it grade 8 or grade 7?
No, it was a grade 8 because those two guys that I played in a band with, they were there, like Derek and I forget his
It's
other
funny
name.
because I saw guys. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, I played it. They went to that Catholic school that we always used to get into fights with.
Bishop Scalabrini.
Yeah, so they went there. They were friends with like Sean Scarborough. Or something.
He was the bridge.
He was the guy.
He was the guy.
But yeah, so like, what the fuck was I saying?
Well, we're talking about the death. I mean, we're all over the place.
So I was thinking about getting a will done.
Yeah, I don't really have a will per se. There is just like legal government documents that were about like that stuff of like the next, God forbid something happens, your kids go there. It's not about like I leave my, dad collective sign to this person. We don't have that.
I'm actually in Schreiber's will, if I still am, for one of his watches.
Oh, I've changed it. Well, that was part of mine and him partnership agreement that all watches are now left to me.
No, I don't.
Sorry.
You don't even like watches.
But I want they have their value. I do like watches. I just haven't got one yet.
Yeah, you should. We'll talk.
Will you buy me one?
Potentially. If you join my real estate team and you do your first deal, I will.
Are you recruiting me? Honestly, the way my work is going right now, I might take you up on that offer. But isn't it hard now to get not hard, but like longer to get a real estate license? Isn't it like
I don't. You have to go to Humber.
But it's like a 2-year program. It used to be a 1 year.
No, well, before it was when I did, it was like easy.
It was like a course.
Yeah,
but now
no,
it's like
courses.
I think it's like a
yeah.
like
they
a
changed it because like the bar to entry is way too low.
For sure.
But yeah, one of my agents and best friends, he did his first deal. I got him a nice little Omega. It was
nice.
It's pretty sweet.
I would like an Omega as my first.
If I could go back, and do it all over again, and for what I bought my first like 2-watt, they were U-boats, they were garbage. But my first like real watch was that Panerai. Yeah. And I would go back and get an Omega Speedmaster. Yeah. Hands down, I think it's the most versatile.
And so classic looking and like such a history.
I love my Rolex.
No, I trust me. I've dove deep. Like I read about watches.
Sent me watches and
I like it. Because I just like cool gadgets. Like whether it's a watch or it's a toy or it's a technology. Like I just like gadgets much like you, right? But I get obsessed. I'll watch YouTube videos for hours.
That's me. Like I watch YouTube. Like that's all I do is watch YouTube.
I've been considering changing to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And I've literally watched probably in total like 4 to 5 hours of videos on it.
Interesting.
Just because I love it. I just enjoy it. Even if I never end up doing it, I just like it. But anyways, that's
I love when we were like about to have the kid. You're like, you're not going to have time to watch anything. And this fucking guy's watching 5 hours of Samsung Galaxy
over
videos.
time. He's
like, oh yeah, Marcus Brownlee, he's got a good opinion on it.
Over time. Oh my God. Did you watch the launch of the new VR goggles by Apple? Like now all those influencers.
I know that. Yeah, they're all getting the
They all have
packages.
them. So I've been watching all their videos.
Yeah. I like Marcus. I like the dude from Toronto. He likes orange.
His name was Canoe.
No.
All his shit's orange.
Yeah.
All his stuff's orange.
Yeah, he lives downtown.
Yeah,
Sam. He's a Porsche guy, and I had like one of his old cars as a loaner.
Is that a mark of pride for you?
Yeah, it was just because the guy was just like because he knew I was on YouTube, and he's like, oh, Carl.
Yes.
Carl.
Yeah. He's good.
He's great. He is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's building a sick house. That guy.
Really?
We'll talk about him off camera. Okay. I got the skinny tea on him. But I do think, keeping the romance alive is not only healthy for the relationship, but for the kids. And like, I think I want to set.
They need to see what a loving relationship's like.
And to be honest, like that's toned down like my reactiveness. Like I think I actually am getting a lot better because like I don't want to be getting into fights with Jess in front of him. I don't want to.
Things. And sometimes you slip. Like don't judge yourself because honestly, like it will happen over time.
Sure.
And it will happen to everyone over time. But you have to just, as long as you're aware of the things you want to improve upon. That's all you can do. You're a human. Like that's it. That's all you can be is to try to be the best version of yourself and not be thick-headed to think that you know all the answers because you don't. And so even when we get feedback on this thing, it's like, yeah, sometimes people make some cool points. Again, things taken out of context or as a joke, but like I would say the same thing sometimes because like, yeah, you gotta learn. Like always learning and teach that shit to your kids. So we're talking about sexual promiscuity. It's like what you do with your wife. You gotta start thinking about it with your kids at some point in their lives and at different stages. So.
I wanted to touch back on one of the things. So when you just had Joey, what's the difference between Joey and Sonny? 3 years?
3
years?
They're all 3.
Did you go when you went away for the first time?
Yeah.
Without Joey, like for a weekend or something? How old was it? Just Joey, or did you not do that in?
No, we did it with Joey. We did it with Sonny. We did it with we've done it with all of them at this point.
When was that? And do you remember?
It was I don't remember exactly, but I know all of them were around the 2 to 3 mark. Nothing was in the first year ever because Jamie also exclusively breastfed.
Same.
So she could never, but you said that, you're going on a date night. Like Jamie couldn't have done that.
Well, she didn't pump?
She didn't pump. No bottles. Like my kids never took it. And that's not like a decision, like life choice. Like,
that was another thing. Like she just had like a lactation specialist come in.
we gotta make another podcast for all this.
But he also had to go to a chiropractor because he's not latching properly because the lower jaw isn't like opening enough because of muscle tightness, because of how he was. So his head's a little tilted. So now we've got like baby like exercises to do with him.
So
it's just like, I'm just like, why aren't you putting up 225, you little
get on that creatine?
I'm like, come on, man, just get on that baby creatine.
But yeah, so we had to wait at least a year for all our kids.
Okay.
And also because of the ease of use, like when they're a little bit more like mobile and they can.
But were you nervous stepping away for that first time?
Maybe we were, but I don't think so. Because again, it was probably with my mom or Jamie's mom, and
you don't remember where you went, like.
It was probably New York.
Okay.
Because that's usually the trips that we've done.
It's like an easy getaway.
Yeah, and like again,
Chicago will always be our place.
Yeah, we also do it at times of convenience. So they're either going to be like, we're going to try to, like, we go usually Monday to Friday because the weekend's harder to keep kids entertained. So they're like waking up, they're going to school or camp all day. They come home and eat dinner, they go to bed. So it's like the management of it is also like less of a bear, a weight on a burden.
That was the word you were looking for.
I was going to say like a baron.
A baron?
A burden. I say words wrong all the time, by the way.
I can't speak
a burden
good.
on my parents. Me speak good English, yes. Yeah. So yeah, you got to find those moments because that relationship with your wife and partner.
Yeah, like I feel
it's just as important as a relationship with your kids.
Well, Jess hasn't really spent moments away from him, right? Like because I've gone, like, I'm working, I'm showing places, I'm doing that kind of thing, and like I wonder, she's definitely going to get the separation anxiety
from you or him.
I wish she can. She gets her time away from me when
it's
I'm
hard
working.
to go back, and maybe we'll have an episode about that in the future about like for the moms out there that are watching, because we know moms are watching because we get those comments, but. The talking about that feeling of going back after maternity leave and how long should you go on maternity leave and what you can do, and that whole thing is a real thing.
And she's a lawyer, and it's like it's very demanding.
Yeah, very demanding.
We were just talking to our doctor, and her brother's a lawyer, and his wife's a lawyer, and they have like a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
and she just went back to work again. And it's like she's on the partner track. No, it's like she is like in work mode, and now he's taking care of the kids more so. And like,
that's what happens when it flips. If things switch, they shift.
Yeah.
It's part of it, right? Like certain
times. Did you ever
times
get upset if they were spending like more time with Jamie than you?
No.
Because you just sit in your car, just like staring off into space.
Watching my YouTube videos.
That's what you do.
And speaking of YouTube videos,
you can watch us on YouTube. And if you are watching us at YouTube, which you are right now, if you're actually physically watching us,
looking at us,
take the time to smash that like button. Leave us a comment. Asher's crying upstairs.
Yeah.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe and that bell so you know when we are updating our
posting.
YouTube channel or posting.
When the YouTube changes.
And if you are listening to our sexy voices in your car right now on a way, baby? Or you're sitting in your car taking a break away from your kids, don't forget to rate the episode. 100 rates, pick a thing.
And that's for the YouTube people too. So like if they want to participate, you only watch us on YouTube, go to the podcast. Even if you listen only on YouTube, give the rate through there and you'll still be entered.
You know what? Maybe share the content. How about that? If you know like a new parent, mom or dad or whatever, share it with them.
Share.
Welcome into our world.
The love.
And you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, the Spotify, the iHeartRadio.
There's so many.
The Google Podcaster.
Look at the icons that I put in the video and just name those. I put like 5 or 6 on there because I search and there's like 1 million.
But they don't show up here?
They show up here. But I'm saying when you go to verbally list them, look back at what I've done and then you'll remember the 5. I just know
we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're anywhere and everywhere. We're everything and anything. Call in all DJs.
Call in all DJs.
Inside joke.
Inside.
But thanks, guys.
Very inside joke. Thanks for watching, listening, and all that fun stuff.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Paul.
And this has been
the Dad Collective Podcast.
Now turn this off and go play with your significant other. Give him some love.
Yeah, give him a nice little bum squeeze. Like a bum squeeze.
A little pinch.
A little pinch on the bum. All right, bye.
Bye.